Here we are. Let me shift this down. Rotate the camera a bit. Get over here. There we go. That's the angle we like to see. Excuse the not all togetherness as usual. Hopefully I'm not lagging. It looks like I'm lagging. Checking all my stuff, but pretty okay. Not too shabby, but we're here. Here on another Friday. Hopefully you can hear me. I am gonna move my mic up just a bit. Hopefully that'll help a bit. You can hear me. Hopefully well. I don't really actually watch these videos afterwards, if I'll be honest. I just kind of go for it, but we're back. We're here. I am Justin, the Zilla. Welcome to the Friday night live streams as always. We haven't missed one yet. Good. Well, of course, it's not every night. It's usually at 8 p.m. as usual here, and then on weekends that I'm busy and I'm working, it's usually going to be at 5:30 p.m. and more simplified. But this live stream, we're just chilling out. It's like we have a day off today from work just because of stuff going on, so little extra day to just kind of chill out, take the whole day to kind of set up for this and just do our thing. But if y'all enjoy this, just by the end of the stream, we're already enjoying my already starting rambles. Be sure like, comment what you want to see on the channel, and of course subscribe. As always, the support is always appreciated, and especially on like the last few live streams. I mean, what did we do last week? Last week we did the Cobra Commander figure, and that one is doing pretty well. I think it already has like over 100 views, so thank you. And of course, from a few weeks ago, the Sonic live stream, still doing really, really well. I appreciate it with that, y'all, because I had a lot of fun doing that. And that gets like 400, like nearly like 500 views. I can't believe it. So thank you again. I always appreciate the support, even in these trying times, crazy times, busy times. But we're here. We're doing our thing. We're talking toys as usual. And of course, for each week of the live stream, of course, for those of you who watch and those who stick around for a bit, let me actually double check all my stuff. It is working. Just got to double check it. But of course, at the start of every stream, we always do a weekly pickup. So this week I did I did buy a couple things, but one's not here yet, down on delivery. But this one is also in the same line, but also a brand new line, at least for me to mess with, and new figures, and something we'll probably look at next week that I'll be excited for. But first thing, and our one thing that we're going to show off for the pickups, it's like I'll talk about the other one in a minute, but we're going to get to this first because I got it in hand. So went by Ollie's, of course. Went by actually last week and was kind of like, do I really need this? I don't really know if I really need it. Like, well, of course I don't need it, but I'm like, it's like, do I really want it? It's like, before the price, pretty good, especially looking online at the the third-party retailers and even other kind of like official retailers. It's just kind of weird. Let me make sure. Sorry, I'm always making sure all my stuff's working. But at Ollie's, they have the Minecraft Diamond level Enderman figure. Now, recently, as I think I talked about last week, I had seen the Minecraft movie. I saw it with with a few of my buds, because we were like, this is kind of like the movie that we've been waiting to see, because we're like let's see how good or bad this is, because we all grew up on Minecraft. I mean, it came out during our age. It's like, well, during my age, because I'm early 20s, so early 2000s, started going, got real popular, and was the game of our generation, essentially. So it's cool that they've been making figures. I didn't even really know for a bit that they were actually making like 6-inch scale figures, and these are kind of 6-inch. I would say that. Yeah, I think that they are technically to scale. If I want to do a basic kind of size up, I guess we can do. Okay, we'll do with a. We'll do like a little like a comparison, kind of like with Spider-Man, just to see scale wise. I mean, he's pretty big, but that feels about right. So we'll see. But yeah, but we have the Enderman here. Got him in Ollie's for about like $13. Pretty good compared to the aftermarket, where usually these are running for about like 25 to like 30, even like 40 or 50. So insane people, but it's here. So you got the Enderman, you got the alternate head where he's all angry. You got like the, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like a little like a teleporting field, like his little things. And of course he comes with a of a grass block that he can actually hold, as they show on there. So new toy line getting into, and I also ordered because I was like I kind of want to get a Steve, and I did. I got their more recent release of Steve, where he comes with the enchantment table and a piece of and a piece of lapis lazuli, and with a enchanted diamond sword. I did really want to get the iron armor Steve, but he's like stupid expensive. And then they also had a Comic-Con, a convention exclusive Steve figure in the full diamond, with a diamond sword and a pickaxe. But that's like stupid expensive to find, even though it's only like a $30 figure with the regular MSRP price. But I was like, you know what? I want to dip my toe into this line. So we got an Enderman figure. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, of course, it looks exactly like it does in the game. And I know it's like a lot of people are really getting into the Minecraft movie figures, but I just haven't really cared for them too much. One, just for scale wise, they don't really go with anything. If anything, I think like the Creeper is the closest, but even still, it's like if you're going by the movie, the Creeper in the movie is pretty big. I mean, scale wise, he's probably more towards this scale, and they do have a Creeper figure, of course. So I've been like debating on getting that as well. So it's a whole new line that I'll probably be getting into, because also at one of my local stores at Walmart, I think it was, they do have the skeleton, where he comes like with like fire effects, like how he's burning in the sun, and then he has a couple of bows, one that doesn't have an arrow, and then one that actually has an arrow that's pulled back. So that's nice to have your different kind of like variety, with these figures, and have those actual options and accessories. Oh, and also at Ollie's too, they did also have their cat set. So where it's the cat mob pet figure that you can get, and it came with a little collar piece and a cooked fish, a feather, and then a working a light up like a furnace. So that's really cool. Oh, and also with the grass block, it is blocked, so they always have like a little thing. And then like how I said before, with the Steve figure in the iron armor, it's all like die cast, so it's really cool. So yeah, so a nice little line that we might be getting into a little bit more. So I'll have to make a shelf space for that specific line. It's like I got ideas with more stuff to put on the wall. Maybe even start putting stuff up here. It's like I like having my boxes up here, so I might be getting more command strip stuff. But want to put more stuff up here, more boxes, more stuff. Megan, welcome as always to the live stream. Says, yeah, you got something. Of course I got something. Got Enderman. And also got Steve. So Steve's on the way. At least a version of Steve. Not my preferred, if I'll be honest. I probably prefer either one of the armor ones, so that he's just kind of like basic Steve. But you know. Can I see Steve? I don't have Steve in front of me yet, Megan. He is being delivered right now all the way from Florida. So it's going to be a few days. So we won't be seeing him probably until next week's live stream. Intent. We might be doing Minecraft next week, so that'll be fun. But we'll kind of see. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised though. Yeah, when it comes like to these figures, that they don't really like show off like the rest of the figures that are out, at least during the time that this is coming out. I know a lot of them were kind of like technically, yeah, because this is even like in 2023, so this is even a couple years old, and I never saw this in person. I have never seen these figures in person up until like recently, up until like I've been seeing this and saw like the skeleton, saw like a Steve, maybe one time. I just can't remember because I wasn't looking. I wasn't really shopping for these. I didn't even know that these existed. So it's crazy that they're finally here and that they're honestly so hard to find. I even think they even have an Alex, and they even have a wolf and also a zombie set too. So it's like they're really pretty far into this line. I mean, like they're doing the Enderman now, and then they're doing like the cat, and then even like Tuxedo Steve, I think was like a 15-year exclusive for Minecraft in general. So that was cool. But we'll see. I think we got a new line to collect, but hopefully it'll be more towards this cheaper price instead of what online retailers or scalpers in some cases are just doing that. Chicken jockey, oh yeah. Surprised they haven't even done like a chicken. It's like they've done like a pig, and I think also a sheep, a red sheep, if that. I think that's like weird instead of just doing like a white sheep. But oh well, it's like, well, they can just they can like reuse that mold like 100 times if they wanted to. But that would be neat if they would do that, Megan. I am Steve. Love that movie. It was so dumb, but it was just so much fun. It was so cool. But yeah, so new Minecraft diamond level stuff. Expect that next week, if I'll be honest. Because since I'll be getting Steve, I think I'll do both him and the Enderman. And especially, it's like, okay, I think like a big thing too is like I really kind of enjoyed the little like the one spot that the Enderman had in the Minecraft movie. Spoilers, I guess. I mean, it's in there, but if you don't want spoilers, mute your thing. And then Megan, the lava song, the lava chicken, lava chicken. But you know, some point we'll probably open this next week, so. Really, really fun. But yeah, but as I was saying, it's like I really enjoyed like his scene in the movie. I won't spoil it. If you haven't seen it yet, go see that dumbass movie. It's fun. It's stupid. I know a lot of people are critical about it. It's like, but it's just like that's not the point. I don't think that that's the point for the movie. I think that movie was like so like perfect. For me and my friends to go see because we're older, but we grew up like. It's like in prime Minecraft, kind of thing. So it was like, yeah, this is magical. I don't care what happens. I don't care about the plot or like if anything makes sense. I don't expect that from a Minecraft movie. It's called a Minecraft movie. We knew it was gonna be bad. We saw the first trailer, all of us collectively, and we were like, yeah, that's not gonna be it's not gonna be amazing, but you know, it was a lot of fun. And then how they did like all like the actual as they called it, the overworld. It's like just like the Minecraft world. It was just all like super well done. I loved I yeah, I love like that whole like that style and look. Very much of more of like I guess like a realistic, yeah, kind of thing because like the creeper's supposed to be made out of grass, and yeah, and then your zombies are a little bit more kind of like human proportioned with it because they have actual like fingers, which is kind of weird, but it's like it's fine. And then how they have like their animals, but all like the buildings are still all blocks, and all like the scenery and all that is still all blocks. And even though they call like the cube thing an orb, it's a cube, but that's the joke of it. So it's like that's fine. But Megan says Jason Momoa was dumb in the Minecraft movie. He was. They were all dumb, if we'll be honest. But Jason Momoa especially was a lot of fun. Kind of surprising. It's like how funny that guy is. But it's great to see that. But Megan says I saw the Minecraft movie toys, but I didn't get them. Maybe next time. Probably. Apparently they're pretty good, especially the creeper figure I've been seeing is actually like pretty well like articulated and has pretty good detail, so that's nice. And it comes with a flint and steel. Always. I love that movie so much. It's so dumb. It's just like it's dumb fun. It's like I've been debating on seeing it twice, but it's like I think I'll be okay with just watching it at home. It's one of like those movies where I'm like, it's like I don't really need to spend $20 to go see that movie again. I'll just wait till it's on whatever streaming platform. I don't even know what company made that. Now that I'm thinking about it, if anything, I would think it's gonna be. I don't know what streaming platform. Because it's like I kind of think about what. Oh no, because okay, sorry, I'm gonna keep blabbering on about the Minecraft movie for a bit because I haven't been able to talk to anyone really about it. Those are my friends. But Megan says you can draw Jack Black from the Minecraft movie. Well, I don't draw. I collect toys. I play with toys, but but oh yeah, for sure. It's like I've seen like all kind of fan art and stuff on there. They're really cool. People are so talented and they're really fun. And then even seeing like the animations too, of all the songs and moments in the movie specifically is like the lava chicken stuff. Because it's like because that's like their little like their thing, and then that's like their first like their big kind of like movie clip that they've really like released really since the movie has come out. Like they've put out like the whole like the soundtrack as well. So I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff and a lot of fun. It's just dumb fun, and then seeing like all like the memes about all like all like the Minecraft movie reactions is always really funny, especially with like the whole like the scene of all the guys freaking out, and one guy has like an actual like a chicken there, and it's like, wow, they really just playing that out. It's like, man, they really did that. Well, I guess good for them. It seemed like pretty like planned and intentional, but I don't know like if the guys got any but if the guys but if they got a plan, they got a plan, and they can do it, they'll do it, I guess. So, pretty neat. Megan says, do you have any of the new Sonic toys? I do not. I don't have any new Sonic stuff. I have just been seeing it's like Supersonic and the Chow mascot tails recently, but that's like it. Ones I still need is like I still need to hopefully get the new Knuckles at some point because that figure looks great and I need a Knuckles. But I need to also get the regular tails and not the Chow mascot version. I just don't care about the Chow mascot version. I rather just get just an actual Chow figure of anything. But I doubt that they'll do that because it's like they're doing like because they're because they now have released the two Robotnik figures. So I think that's kind of like the extent that they'll really go. Maybe they'll do a Chow because now they got that head sculpt, so they can do a different version and do a few versions if they wanted to. But hopefully at some point I can get my hands on a couple of more Sonic figures to kind of, can I complete it? Megan says, can I see it? I'm happy for you. I don't have any of those other Sonic toys, but thank you for being happy for me. I appreciate the support, but I don't have the actual figures in hand. I need to get them. That's the whole point. But, in any case, I think it's time to stop rambling because we're already about 20 minutes in. We just want to go ahead and look at these cool figures. So, what do I want to do? I think we're going to lower this camera a little bit. Let's see the mic right there. Is this working? It seems it is. Hopefully it's not too bad. If it's not too far from me, but just let me know. Too loud enough, we'll switch that over there because that kind of gets that zoom in more, and we can go in right here onto the table. Of course, as y'all have seen, it's nothing really too much when it comes to unboxing today. I just wanted to open up these two figures and kind of like, okay, and kind of with the whole, the new trailer of the Fantastic Four, I debated on actually doing, like a fair bit, like of Fantastic Four stuff that I've been kind of sitting on for a bit, but I kind of want to wait until we're even closer to the movie, maybe even by next month, or even the month that is supposed to come out. I think it's in January. It's either in June or January. I think it's January. No. June or July. Excuse me, I can't speak right now. But I think it's in July when it releases. So I did want to do something kind of Fantastic Four. And the Skrulls are there. And I've had these guys for a couple weeks now. And they're just really cool. But what does Megan say? Megan says about the Minecraft Black should have cut hair a short on camera for the movie. What? About the Minecraft, they should have cut his hair short on camera for the movie. Oh, are you talking about like the kid with the black hair, or are you talking about like Steve? I don't know what you're referring to. But Jason Momoa had a lot of hair, but I kind of liked it. But it was a wig anyways. It's not his real hair. So, it's just ridiculous. But in any case, we'll be opening up these couple of Skrulls here. So where these are the Hasbro Pulse, excuse me. Yes, but these are the Hasbro Pulse, the Trooper Builder kind of figures that were exclusives to Hasbro Pulse. I don't know why they stopped making these, because, look at them. It's so easy to just make this and make this forever. I don't know why they just don't do it anymore. But, it's like, but they were around like for a time, but then because they're exclusives and then they stopped them, now they're here in the aftermarket on the third-party grounds and in your comic shops. And these were picked up at one at one of my local comic shops, Fanfare. It's like, they recently actually, during the start of the year, actually moved to a brand new location. So it's bigger, it's better, it's really cool, and they even have a lot more options out there, especially when it comes to figure-wise, even though it's like, but that local comic shop is they're more of kind of like a, tabletop kind of role play thing. It's like, and then a lot of comics, and then a lot of kind of like extra plush and stuff and kind of knickknacks, but they do have a really good, like a collectible area. And it's like, I kind of wish it was a little bit bigger, but it's like, but they have a very, very good variety and even have a lot of kind of like magic and playing cards. So really, really nice. But yeah, it's like, and then it's like they had these Skrulls here for actually, I would say pretty reasonable prices, especially for now. $24 for one that isn't complete, and then full on $30 for one that is complete. I know that these were probably only about like, even in some cases, even like $15 probably even more, kind of like more towards like the 20 range. But honestly, but with the aftermarket, like all like the eBay and online prices, these are pretty good steals. Like this is actually a pretty good kind of, I think, kind of like set price here. I know it's a lot. Well, look at it. I think they look pretty cool. And then, it's like you got one that has the big one, and and I know this one is missing, but I gotta have a pair. I don't think you can just get just one, even if it's a little more expensive, but not too bad. And Megan says, okay. Yeah, like Steve has short hair in the game. That is true. He does just kind of have like that regular, I just think of it as like it's just a very short haircut, but I don't mind really that much. With Jack Black, because I'm just like, yeah, it's just Jack Black. But honestly, I think it's kind of like, it kind of like just works as like Steve, in my honest opinion. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, he's kind of over the top, and he's just kind of like explaining the stuff around, which I think Steve would do. He'd just be like, yeah, I made this. Yeah, everything's blocks. It's just really kind of cool and nice. You have a whole world to you. I feel like that he would just, just do that. Just be Steve. But in any case, what did you say, Megan? eBay is a scam. Yeah, that's true on some occasions. It's like it's like some stuff he can't really get on there for a good price at all. Even but like I was saying before, talking about the Minecraft figures on eBay, like it's like 200 to get like that diamond armor Steve, and it's like no, that's not what that figure's worth. Why? Why would I ever pay $200 for just a Minecraft figure? That's just a total scam. You can't do that. But you gotta like report that stuff. I gotta actually do that. I forgot to do that. But in any case, I think we're gonna go ahead. It's like we're not gonna worry about prices. Well, not for too long. We're gonna worry about them in the future because of what's going on in our real world. People are stupid. But we're gonna go ahead, open up these really cool figures, brand new figures, getting in with the Fantastic Four stuff again, because these guys debuted during those comics and are kind of like all in those comics, but now they're kind of like, I guess, kind of more associated. At least to me, it's like through Captain Marvel, and it makes more sense because they're more of kind of like they mimic or more kind of like towards the Fantastic Four, especially when it comes to like the Super Skrull and all its powers and stuff. So but we're gonna go ahead, get these guys open, stop rambling on, and do our thing. Megan says, I hate eBay. I mean, it saves you money. Oh, excuse me, I'm dropping my camera. Can this thing tighten, please? Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to get this thing. So sorry about the camera issue. Stupid camera. But there's our setup here. I think, do we want to do, okay, we'll do cheaper one first because it doesn't come with the bigger gun. I guess this would be, well, maybe this would, okay. So maybe we will do, I don't know. I think it's like, if we want to do the whole complete figure in one go, do a full review of it, I think we can do that and then just have this for the end because, he just has just a little pea shooter, an alternate head. But this one, it's like we'll get in hand. Of course, we can see everything that the figure's coming with if we're already talking about it because there's nothing really for packaging. It's just a plastic bag with two, with actually like, how many pieces of tape? Like 2 or 3? There's even like a couple right there. I don't know if those are in the inside though. I think that's on the inside. But in any case, I think we're going to go with the full body figure. I kind of wish I could go a little higher, but Do I want to try? Here, I'm going to try going a little bit higher. See how maybe that kind of shows a little too much. Maybe if I go in a little bit, that doesn't work. Excuse the thing. This upside down now? Hold up. There we go. This stupid camera. I'm just ruining my whole stream right now because I'm just trying to play dumb. How does that look? Probably like that. I don't know. I'm just trying to make time. Try to get this in a better setup to kind of show off these specific kind of things off, like this kind of packaging, and also give myself more of an easier task at opening this figure. Do that a little bit. Oh, we come down a little bit more. Okay. That about the same? I can't tell if that's about the same. That might be a little bit more going on here. I think that's actually kind of good. We'll come in a little bit. Get locked in. Hone in. Our camera. If I can get this thing how I want it to be. Is that good? I don't think that's good. Because we just still want to show off the collection. I mean, it's right there. But are we just going to just reset? I think I'm just going to reset. Okay. I don't know. I just wanted to get this. I think it actually has to go lower now. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to mess with my camera for a bit. That's a light. You don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I'm trying to remember how to do this stream. It's been like just a week, but it's like I've just been busy. And I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, I just shouldn't have touched my camera. That's what I should have done. Camera back up. Highlight. That's a little high. We're gonna try to actually just go back to normal. And just kind of get back to this setup because it just worked. And I just gotta stop messing with it. Okay. Because now I'm doing like the overcorrection thing, and I've already done that. Okay. We're gonna get. Bro, I can. It's just not enough. Okay. There we go. I think that's kind of better. Whatever. I just gotta stop messing with it, bro. But it's like, I just want it perfect. I need to have this as a thing, but this just isn't. But we'll have the pair out. And then we'll do our thing. Because I do gotta remove this tape. As always, we have our trusty X-Acto blade here. We're just gonna go for it. It was all just nonsense for nothing. I'm just back to my regular show now. I just wanted to be stupid. An experiment. Do a live thing, but it doesn't work. And we don't cut, because, you know, we're live. All the outtakes are here. All our weird stuff. We got that. Cut our tape there. Is our tape there. But then, oh, okay. So then it's a flap over top, so you only have one more thing to go for. course, that tape comes off pretty easily. We're going to set down our X-Acto blade. Move him out of the way. I'm going to get this figure open. So very kind of like secure kind of bag here. Pretty well done for just a local comic shop. That it actually works to fit with the figure perfectly. We're going to move the bag out now. Folds up pretty easily. It's actually kind of perfect for this kind of stuff. Now, we will actually have to start moving our camera down because, of course, we can't see him this angle. But here's our Skrull figure. Let's get this locked in. Actually, move you in a little closer. There he is. We're going to give him a little more light. There we go. A bit more, kind of evens it out. But yeah, but here's our, we will actually come up a little bit of a closer a look if we're able. Maybe we're gonna get him right up here, up to the camera. There he is. His little mean mug face is doing his thing with the big chin. I wish I could get a little bit clearer. Is that Green Goblin? Megan is not Green Goblin. This is a Skrull. So Skrulls, Skrull, are aliens who can disguise themselves as other people, as seen in the hundreds of comic books that they are in their origin. In the Fantastic Four, very early. I think it was like number 4, number 5 issue number, or maybe even like 2 or 3. It's like really soon. It's like a no time. So yeah, so these guys have been around for a long time. But as you can see, they have these signature big chin all kind of aligned up. It's kind of like a Thanos chin, honestly, that they got. But then they have a little like a black kind of cap there, have the pointed ears, have the has like the more kind of like meaner, serious expression. I think is this painted? I can't really tell. It might be. Oh, I think it is. Yeah. So this probably is definitely like the like the tech kind of paint thing. Maybe this one is. I can't really tell. I can't really tell if the paint on this is like regular paint or if they like did the printing kind of technique. Kind of looks like a Green Goblin. He does. He's got like the pointed ear, has like the thing, has like the little kind of pointed nose, a bit of a point at the nose. So you kind of see it. He just doesn't have a little like the strand in the back. He just has just the regular cap there, but then down to the shoulders, it's not sculpted on there, but you do have the detail of the collar with the pointed edges here and that dark, in the darker color. It's the same as the head, but you can tell that the colors are like slightly different. This one has a more of like a purplish tone. This one is a little bit kind of more of like that straight kind of like black. Yeah, kind of like grayish black on there, but this one's like, but it's still pretty close. You barely even really notice it. And of course, the rest of the body is just the Sunfire body mold. He's up there. Can we even get a look at him? There he is. There's our Sunfire right there. The origin of this body. And I think it was that or Spider-Man 2099. That body too, but I think it was Sunfire. I think Sunfire was first. But in any case, it's a pretty alright body. Nice and kind of muscular, but kind of like that more slimmer look. It was pretty good for the time. But of course has the pins in the arms and the legs. But for these guys, I don't really mind that too much. Yes, it does kind of age it a bit, but I think it's still pretty, yeah, pretty like a standard like a quality, because this is definitely one of like those army builders. I mean, most of them are on the Bucky cap, so even older, like this one's even pretty good for that, but still pretty cool. And then of course with the rest of the costume details, we go down to the darker gloves with the there's like that that don't have a sculpt on there. It's just painted, and then the darker hand, and like the trunks there, and then the purple legs, and then of course the black boots with the pointed like the feet on this body, which doesn't really bother me too much. It's like I get the criticism on it. It's like yeah, it's like it's kind of weird. It's like, but these guys are like weird aliens, so I think it kind of just works fine with this. And this is in this instance, but I think they're pretty cool. It's like it is a little kind of glossy here. I kind of even want to think if I do want to do like a matte paint, like a matte coat on this body, because it might be pretty good. I don't know. It's just pretty nice. And of course with the weapon as the giant kind of rifle here, it's just it's just cast in a kind of a metallic gray. It is a little bit shiny, but it's not really, it might be like a marbleized kind of piece because of like these lines here, but maybe not. It might be like just straight, just gray plastic. I can't really tell. But it's pretty well done, and I like the sculpt here. It's very unique. You're not really going to see this with any other figure. I don't think that they've reused this yet, but this is actually a pretty nice gun. I'm surprised that they're not reusing this a lot. And of course, he has a trigger finger hand there, but just a side to side, no up and down, which kind of sucks. And then even the same for that, where it's just a side to side, so you don't get anything. You don't even get like extra fists, which would have been nice. If they were doing these, it's like I get it that these were like kind of like bare bones, kind of like okay, it's like you're getting a head, and like maybe a weapon, maybe two, but it's like you're mainly just getting like just this essentially in most cases. So, but it was cool that they also added in it's like this more like this gritting their teeth head. It's like these eyes are also, I will say, on these Skrull heads are a little bit kind of like side-eyed or kind of like looking up. It's like this one is very much like a side eye. It's like you're not really going to get them to look forward, which kind of sucks to get a good angle on the face with the eyes, but but it's like it's still pretty good. I don't think it's that bad. And then of course his last accessory is this little pea shooter, I'm going to call it, but it does have a port for maybe if you want to put like an effect in there, so that would be cool. I don't know if this one has it has like a couple little ports on there, so you can have like some smaller ones there, so that'd be pretty nice. Maybe I wish it would have come with that if it was a little bit more, I guess, kind of like a regular kind of like in the line figure that would have a little bit more accessories. But even still, well, even now it's like there's even some figures that that don't really even come with that much. I know, for prices and stuff, but it's like, but this is a pretty good set. I think it actually works pretty well. I think it's a pretty decent set, especially like just for the price that I paid for, which is again $29. So I don't think that that's that bad for getting a figure that's kind of on the aftermarket. That's insane in the prices. But I can also support my local businesses, which is very nice. I'd rather give them like $30 instead of having to pay like 45 for someone that I've never met before, someone in my town. But you know, and also like scalpers, especially if you want to get this in box, because of course I didn't get these boxes. It's like where they have like the red and white kind of designs on them. I actually should have grabbed my other boxes because I do have ones. But I don't want to. Do I want to go explore it? I don't know if I want to go get those boxes. But we're going to look at those later during comparisons, anyways, because we do have some like some other army builders that are also from this kind of era. Do I want to do? Hold up, this light back up. I don't know when this was so well. But yeah, but not too shabby of a figure. But we'll go over his accessories. Of course, has a ball with a disc, the neck here. So the head on. We can look up a lot of plastic came out of that. So they're really tight on there. But with the whole thing, he can look up, really far. So really good. Down, all the way down to the chest. So not too shabby. The head kind of rotates 360. Does have a little, has like a little bit of tilt. It's kind of hard to get it. Doesn't even feel like it's on there that hard anymore. Here, let me try to fix his head again. There we go. That feels more like it. Okay, so he doesn't really have a side to side. It's kind of non-existent. But you can kind of like jut his neck out, so it gives him a little bit more. It gives him it makes his head look bigger. So you probably just want to keep it there for most of the time. But with the, I'm going to actually get this. Excuse me. But then with the torso, you have the butterfly joints. So you get it coming up all the way and go that much forward and go that much back. Pretty good. Being able to do that, that's pretty nice. Range wise. And then here at the shoulder, you have hinge. Goes up that far. Pretty good. Has full rotation there. And then at the bicep, you do have a swivel there. Double jointed elbows. Okay range, if I can get it. I think it is kind of... No, it's not stuck. It's just... does not have very good... Yeah, elbows are... okay, it's like they're past 90. But would be a little bit better to have a little bit more like the flexibility with these guys, because I do kind of think of these guys as a little bit more kind of like normal size, not really buff, just kind of like just regular. And it's like but not like as skinny, even as this is, but it's like it still works for this. And I figure, especially if you get torso back, it makes them look a lot bigger. You have the arms down. It really just kind of can work out. It's pretty cool. But then at the hands, as we saw before, they are in and out, hinge, and then rotation, even though they are trigger finger, and there are only hands that we come in the set. But then at the torso again, you have an ab crunch that goes forward that far, goes back not that far, not too shabby. And then, of course, has rotation at the waist, all the way there. Does kind of break up that sculpt a bit there, but it's not too bad. And, you can do that, as always. It is a Skrull. It can, I guess, really do anything it wants. Hello, Gabe. Welcome. Welcome back to the live stream. We're looking at these Skrulls. Honestly, this figure looks pretty good in this pose. But then at the legs, kicks forward, about that far, kind of out to the side a bit. It's not really going forward. I kind of am forcing it there. Not up there, but he does kind of, his legs do kind of jut out a bit. It's kind of like more like a Y, but if we kind of rotate it, I don't know. I just don't think, yeah, they just kind of kick out automatically. So, not the best with that, but it's still pretty all right range overall, and then even to the side. Can do the full splits. That's insane. Gabe says, you want to know something? Sure, Gabe. Look at this. He's doing that. You can do the splits, bro. That's pretty good range. Not too bad. But then at the thigh, you do have a swivel. Chicken jockey. Oh my God. Gabe, yeah, but you got no idea if you saw the pickups for this week. Would be saying. Because we did see, because we were talking about some Minecraft stuff earlier, especially the movie. But there's our double jointed knee, not pinless. Would be nice if it was pinless, but it doesn't really ruin the figure. It's just a couple of pins. But it's a cool figure. But then at the boot, you get rotation there, which I didn't really actually expect, but pretty nice thing there. And then your ankle or rocker, and then with your forward hinge, your back hinge, and that ankle rocker. It's always the best thing. They can do crazy stuff with these figures. You can always have a lot of fun with a Marvel Legends. Even if it's not like perfect, like proportionally, and just like being kind of weird, but you can get this. Gabe says, how are you today? I'm doing well, Gabe. I hope you're doing well. We're having fun messing with these Skrulls here. How does this look as a pose? Kind of is giving me kind of Jack Kirby vibes. This is definitely a Jack Kirby kind of figure. Aludra Canis or Aludra Canis W stream, you need more subscribers. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Hope you're enjoying the stream. We're looking at some Marvel Legends Skrulls. We'll give him a little pea shooter. Why not? He hasn't had that in his hand before. Honestly, that is pretty perfect, I think. Even if we do kind of a more... Gabe says you should have over 100K subs. Well, I appreciate that. Hopefully one day we'll get there. I'm only at like 200 something? Gabe says, and I have an idea. Gabe says, yeah, but Gabe said, and I have an idea. And Aludra, I'm just gonna call you that, because that's, yeah, or Canis, says, stay, my BSF ditch me from our figure stream. Lol. Wow. Well, if you're enjoying the stream, I hope you are. Sorry my camera's all screwed up. Megan says, have your friends subscribe. Yes. Show this to your friends, I guess. Recommend it. Ludra Canna says it's okay. All right. Bet. Bet. Maybe we'll get them. This kind of pose is like kind of just like a, just like your guy. But Gabe says you should get every Godzilla X Kong figure from Playmates and make a video unboxing and reviewing them. People that review the Godzilla X Kong stuff gets tons of views. Yeah, I've seen kind of all of those figures. I'm not really just big on them. To be honest, I just kind of just get stuff that I'm really interested in. So right now, a lot of Marvel. I mean, look at this. Look at this dude. All attitude, bro. This is so cool. That's better. But Aludra says I'm part of a huge figure Discord server. If you want, I could invite you. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I might be interested in that. That'd be cool. It's like I'm on a few Discord servers. I know I'm on like one like main one I've been on for a while. I don't really use Discord that much. But Gabe says I got them because I love Godzilla. I won't blame you. It's like they seem like pretty fun toys, and especially if that can work for you and you really enjoy them. It's like, and yeah, that's how you want to collect your stuff. Like that's really cool. It's like, and then they're actually pretty well made, so not really bad at all. But and Gabe also says I really want some Haya stuff eventually. Haya stuff is really good. I got a couple of them, so they're pretty. Yes, they're pretty fun. Hold on, I'm gonna get this head on behind camera. Actually, pretty tight on there. It like barely goes on. Oh, there we go. Bit of force, but you can get it. I just want to get them in front of me for a minute. We'll read the chat. Alodra says bombastic plastic. There are two, if you know who he is. There's a lot of popular and unknown YouTubers in there too, including me. Lol, I'm going to stop talking about the server and talk about other action figure stuff. All right, you're all good. Yeah, but I'd be really interested if you want. Like, if you want to send it to me, you can do it on to like my Instagram. That's probably like the best like direct way of doing that, because that's like really the only thing I'm on that I really check at all. So yeah, you can just look me up on there as well, and I appreciate it. But yeah, any figure stuff we want to chat about, let's chat it up, because there's a lot of figure stuff coming out, being out. But look at this Skrull. Just being a Skrull. I do kind of want to get him. Hold on, I'm gonna get him back here. I just need to get him in front of me. That's kind of how I imagine him. It's kind of pose where they're kind of like sneaking up or something. That seems like a thing that they would do, but Gabe says I'm saving up for Hyatt Toys Evolved Godzilla. That would be really cool to get. Gabe says, well, I already have enough money, so I'm going to get it. Go get them, bro. It's like, if you're planning around that, like, like how your stuff's working, how you're going to get it, go for it, bro. Especially if you really want it. It's like, if it's something like you're like, I need that. I need that in the collection. And I'm going to work my way for it. That's really cool. Kind of like this awesome figure. I love this Skrull. Look at this devious dude. He's so awesome. Aludra says I go by Aloha Candace everywhere, so I'll DM you after the stream. All right, cool. Appreciate it. But Gabe says I have to wait if it's in the stock somewhere. Oh, for sure. You want to get it in stock. There's pre-order now. They can raise those prices already. Aludra says, have you gotten any Joy Toy figures? They're really good for 1/18th. I don't think so. I don't think I have anything by Joy Toy. I'm trying to think if I know anything that they've made, but I kind of, yes, I've heard of that company, I think, before. But if you give me like specific, like kind of like franchises or characters I can maybe think of, because I do got a bit, but it's like I don't really have that much of a variety. It's a lot of just Hasbro and Marvel, C, kind of Mezco, NECA, yeah, like in Jada Toys, SH Figure Arts, Black Series, just like other like Mattel stuff, but I don't think anything with Joy Toy. But Gabe says I would have gotten him for pre-order, but the shipping and tax is over $70. That's not too bad for a Haya. Honestly, that's pretty okay. It's better than a Figure Arts, which is like nearly like 200 these days. So it's really a no-go unless you got like a coupon or something. And I do plan to get another Haya at some point, or even like Figure Arts, because I'm just like, I need to get something. Yes, like, and I don't have the Godzilla versus Gigan Godzilla figure from Figure Arts. And I've been waiting to finally get that figure for a while. I'm really, yes, I just need to get it. It's like it's on the list, and I'm gonna get to it, but I'm just still like planning it out, trying to do the right thing and save up. But, not too bad. But Megan says I'm tired. Well, you should go to sleep, Megan. You're tired. Go get some rest. It's good to have rest. Do your thing. But thank you for sticking around in the stream, though. I always appreciate the support. Aludra, or Aludra, as I've been saying, kind of like Dracula, said, I only get 1/12, but I love them so much. They make TMNT in Warhammer 40K. I think I've seen those then, because that does sound familiar. That kind of scale. I think I've seen like the turtles that they've done, from what I recall. So not too bad. But Gabe says Haya made a limited edition Burning Godzilla 2019 battle version. I did see that too. They got a whole lot. They even have like the other, like the version of the Millennium Godzilla, where where his spines are like all yellow. It looks pretty cool. Like that one, and maybe tempted with, but it's like I do want to get like the regular Millennium Godzilla because I think it just looks better. I think it looks better than the Figure Arts. The Figure Arts is like fine, but it's like I think that high is kind of like it's kind of like the perfect like yeah, kind of like size and kind of look at these figures that I think I prefer more. Even when it comes to the Hiya Toys GMK figure, that one looks movie perfect. Like it looks exactly like the movie compared to the SH Monster Art, which I would say is kind of an older figure to say, but then again, it's like we do have the Final Wars, and the Final Wars is pretty good for figure arts, but honestly, kind of skinny. It's not really that proportionate, really, to the costume from what I think of. It's like just like the neck isn't there, and like the head sculpt is weird. So there is a little bit of like modern like QC issues, but overall, they're still pretty okay. But it's like, but there's just like certain little like aspects that are like more exaggerated. I mean, if you think about how like how their last Millennium Godzilla was, it wasn't even based on the movie. It was just based on kind of like the toy artist essentially version. That was kind of, I guess, like a poster version at some point, or like an early version of that Godzilla. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I feel like it was from like what I've seen online, but I can't remember. But in any case, I forgot what my point was. But Godzilla stuff, yeah, is like behind is so good. Figure arts slowly going down. I'm sorry. Well, except for the Godzilla versus Gigan, Godzilla and Anguirus. Those look badass, and those look movie perfect. But in any case, back to our Skrull. Pretty cool. Nice little set. I actually think I actually dig them in this setup, but I might want to give him the big gun. Try to get him to do double-handed there. Get that pose on. Because since he does have the bigger gun anyways, you can have him attempt to hold it in some way. Maybe if we get him holding this inner part, maybe that feels a little more plausible, but it's not really going on. Let me get this in front of me. Excuse me, but Alodra says, do you collect any Dragon Ball figures? I do. See, with Dragon Balls, yes, but they're doing pretty well. I have like 3 Gokus. I got like 2 Vegetas, 2 Piccolos. Well, and also a Kid Goku, Trunks, and then who else do we got? I think that's really it right now. And then I also have the SH Figure Arts Naruto figure, like their first newer release, that they did, when they brought back the line, and then also their original one from the first release, which is pretty cool. But but if you want to actually see any of those characters on camera, just let me know, and let me know which one you want to see, Alodra, because I don't mind showing off figures, and I can't get this guy to double hand his freaking gun. He just doesn't hold it. He does have a. Why does it have? Okay, one question. It has a. It does have like a little peg in there, but the peg doesn't go with anything because it doesn't peg in the back because the hole's too big. So, not too bad. But we're gonna get him standing here, and then we'll bring out Trunks for you. Alodra. Appreciate. Oh, hanging around, enjoying the show. Move this over there. This guy over here. That's all right for now. We'll move him to the side because we'll get out Mr. Trunks. As you requested. What else did you say? Trunks, the drink, a beverage of sorts. Is that a quote that he says? I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen Dragon Ball, but there's Trunks. Looking freaking badass, bro. I actually pretty much love this figure. I think it's really cool. Aludra says it's a me. Okay. But look at the boy. Sharp as hell. I actually maybe prefer him more in the Super Saiyan form. But I've been digging like the normal hair. I thought it was a little bit much before, and kind of in person I think it is a little bit, but on camera I think it just looks perfect. This figure looks so good. It's really, really cool. Aludra says I do gotta get that same Trunks. It was like I do gotta get that same Trunks in a trade. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like yeah, like you want to get it, yeah, like in a trade, or are you like trying to get it? Because because I would recommend yeah, just picking this guy up. It's like because it's a pretty fun figure. I think it's like I do get like the flaws, yeah, that people talk about with this. I think it is a little kind of loose a bit, like kind of, and also I think kind of like the setup here, yeah, at the pants is not really the cleanest looking. I think that they could have done a better job at making this more kind of like better for the body, but I think it's still like it looks all right. It yeah, it's very much of the art style. I think it just works out well, and they actually do the sword like perfectly too, which is like I love that. It's like Trunks' kind of profile is a little bit kind of like his voice, yeah, his face is kind of pointed a little bit. I don't really think of his nose kind of like that pointed, but at least here on camera it doesn't look bad. It's kind of like in person looks kind of weird, but I don't know. He does look pretty badass here. And I've always liked Trunks. Trunks was always kind of like my, yeah, like like this whole like the beginning scene, like the scene where we first meet Trunks and he like kills Frieza and like, and he's also a Super Saiyan. Yeah, well, that whole episode is one of like my favorite episodes of all time. It's like it's so like iconic to me. It's like it was like one of like the very first like the things that like yeah, that really like grabbed my attention in Dragon Ball. I was like, who's this Trunks guy? This guy's a badass. Oh my god. He killed Frieza for sure. And is also a Super Saiyan with a sword. Like he's just so cool. He was such a badass. And then he just fell. And they didn't really do that much after that. But he did a really cool movie. But Aludra says, do you ever want to collab? I do streams like this all the time, and we have a similar amount of subs, so I won't it won't be too weird though. No, I wouldn't mind doing that. I just really just have to see how I can get it to work at some point, and also because of like yeah, my scheduling, I'm very limited on my days. Like I can really only mainly do do like Fridays and maybe do like the weekend, but usually I'm working unless I got something going on. I don't know, but usually it's like at least for the long term, kind of like my schedule's pretty limited, and that's why I just do these on Fridays now. The one like the actual like free day I can fully get. Aludra also says he's the GOAT. Dragon Ball Super ruined him. True. Dragon Ball Super decimated my guy. And then they had like an amazing like an end like a tournament kind of like stuff going on. It's like yeah with the other story. I don't think Trunks was even there for that. Well, maybe he was. Maybe I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, he was there as a kid for sure, but you know, I can't remember if Trunks was in the finale of Superman. Aludra says they did the opposite with Broly, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, but where like Super kind of like made him kind of perfect. Do you mean? Because Broly is like, yes, like, I love Broly more because of that new movie. It made me appreciate Broly way more, and I think his origin actually just made a bit more sense. And kind of like, I like the whole fact is like that he had like a like a giant like a monster friend called Ba, and he wears like a piece of like, his ear. Yeah, that him or his dad cut off of it. It's just so cool. Like I need to get a Broly figure at some point, but I just have to get like the one perfect one. It's like, and they're, it's like, and you know how the aftermarkets are. Still, yeah, we're always talking about secondary markets, just marketing in general. In this toy, yes, I've been in this toy stream, the world. But in any case, gotta get a Broly at some point. I do like classic Broly, but I think I kind of do prefer like the more modern one. I think it's just more interesting and more cool as yeah, kind of like as a design, and definitely I think works with the modern kind of like aesthetic of Dragon Ball, and it looks so cool. Illusion says I'm gonna be on topic on stream, but is the Skrull a remold? What body does it use? Oh, you're all good. We'll get Trunks out of here real quick, but thank you for wanting to chat about this figure. It's really cool. I definitely recommend it if you want to pick it up at some point. Always happy to show off the collection. Ooh. Yeah, well, on with the Skrull. Over here, this one, it's like we did mention before when we were looking at the body that this is reuse of the Sunfire body mold, which is up there, as we've shown before. I think he was the very first one that did use this mold, but then there was also around the same time the Spider-Man 2099 mold. Also, a lot of people refer this as to, which is true because this was like the white suited version. But yeah, I do call this the Sunfire body mold. But yeah, another very much of a reuse as always. But you know, but this was their Hasbro Pulse exclusive, kind of like their cheaper, kind of like their army builder figures at the time. Of course, they were a lot cheaper then. They're about twice the price now, but better than like 4 or 5 times the price on the internet. So that's why you buy local if you're able. And if they had it, and I got lucky, and they had it. So a really cool figure, honestly. Not too bad. Of course, it is a little bit dated compared to the more like the modern updates of the more modern figures. Now they're doing pinless and better proportion wise, very much so, and getting like their colors a little bit brighter and kind of making them just kind of like work more and kind of like be a little bit bigger, I would say, and kind of like more kind of like filled out. So they're doing all right. But Aludra says Hasbro and McFarlane love remolds, especially McFarlane. Oh, it's like, yeah, don't even get me started on the McFarlane figures. Like, yeah, they do have like really cool figures, but they're like, in my opinion, kind of like rare. It's like if I can get them on a discount, like I probably would if I really cared about the character. But most of them, I just don't even want them because I'm just like, it just looks ugly. This 7-inch scale doesn't even like look good with this. It's like, yeah, it has all that sculpting detail with some of these figures, but it's like, but and if they're doing yeah, like reuse, like it's like I feel like those molds can just like fall apart in no time. I think that's really much of a surprise there because they're just not the best. It's like I have a couple that I'm looking at right now, yeah, that I can see that I'm like, yeah, it's not really amazing, but the ones I do have, they're all right. But some others are just like, yeah, it's like I didn't really care about that. That's just like it's just not a good figure. Aludra says the only good McFarlane figures are the Spawn and Warhammer 40K lines. I would probably agree. Spawn is all right. They haven't really been doing Spawn in a bit. It's like, and also it's like they are kind of like yeah, they are also kind of like in that McFarlane kind of like 7-inch kind of scale. So they do kind of match with your DC figures, but I don't really like it too much. But Gabe says, bye. Bye, Gabe. Hope you have a good night. Well, thank you for hanging out in the stream. Hope you enjoyed it. Nice chatting with you about some Godzilla figures, as always, because we're just in the Zilla, even though we're not looking at a lot of Godzilla stuff. Probably not for a bit, but, you know. Hopefully soon. Hopefully I'll get my hands on that Monster Arts. But Gabe says, see you next stream. See you next stream, Gabe. Thank you for joining. Hope you have a good night, too. But yeah. Really nice figure. Kind of basic. Like, I do actually kind of think that this figure would look better if you gave it yeah, like a matte spray. Kind of like a Mr. Hobby matte kind of clear coat to get rid of all of this kind of shine on it. I think it would actually look probably way better for it. I think it would make the costume kind of details stick out more. So we might even try that. Yeah, kind of off camera. But excuse me, we do have a second Skrulls that open a little bit cheaper, only 25 compared to the 30 that this dude was, because this one is complete and this one is just missing the big gun. Well, we're gonna go ahead, open this up. We're gonna move our first Skrull back here. Look at your camera, please. We're gonna get our second one finally out here, an hour 23 minutes in. We're making not bad time in, but we're rambling on. We're making it through. Talking about a lot of toys. If I can get this stupid tape. It's kind of hard to do it when you're trying to do it on camera and also failing to do so. Aldurad says, what's your opinion on third-party figures for Dragon Ball, Transformers, etc.? For third party, I don't really mind. It's like I didn't really mind them at all. I know there's like one that actually just got like shut down recently, which really sucks because they were apparently making like really good figures. I didn't really buy any, or it's like, or yeah, like I haven't bought any yet because there are still like people making that stuff. But I didn't ever really get them. It's like, but I do kind of like how they were doing it and how unique that they could get into the designs and getting even more into, I guess, more kind of like unique characters and looks. Like I remember they did like but one like the major ones they did like like a Majin Buu. Yeah, it's like a Kid Buu, and it was like perfect. It looked amazing, and I was like, man, I probably should have gotten that, but I just couldn't get it at the time. It wasn't gonna work out to get it. Or maybe at some point, but now that thing is probably gonna be super rare to get. Probably pretty pricey, but hopefully not, but we'll see. But Rod says it was Tones and Art Toys. They're amazing. Is that that? Yeah, like is that the same company? I feel like that makes sense. But Alurad says I have one of their Vegeta heads. I do see a lot of that. That they're that they probably make a lot of accessory kits for like before your figure arts. It's like even like ones that even have like little like I guess kind of like clothing accessories and hair pieces, and then like of course the heads. But then even like doing like full figures as well as like are kind of crazy too. The fact that they can get that well done there. But here's another Skrull. Essentially the same exact figure. Well, it is the same exact figure of this guy. But this one just doesn't have the big rifle. He just has the pea shooter there. All the same exact details with the same head sculpt here. He is looking a little bit more forward, which I do like, so that's nice. It does have a little bit of booger going on there. Blow your nose, son. Okay. Yeah, it's just like it's one little flake. It's actually a white color, so I was like, oh, well, that's probably not that kind of booger, but we're not gonna go there. But he's got but he has like his cool eyes. Yeah, the all yellow. I think that this is like the the printing kind of tech detail, not the painted on, but pretty good. And has the chin as always, same head sculpt as we saw before with the same costume design there, all purple body, hands, all that. Same thing there, little pea shooter with the pink. Your port there for an effect if you wanted to add it. All your same details there, all your copyrights, all this. So when did this actually come out? I didn't actually check that. So this is a body. Okay, so it's probably just for the body is 2016. This was probably more, what was this like? More kind of like, I think 2020, 2019, kind of like around that time. It wasn't that long. I don't think it was that far ago, but But Alurad says you should pose them with Super Skrull if you have them. We will be doing that very soon during our comparisons. But, want to go over, this guy still does come with the same gritting head, and he actually does look forward as well, so that actually is pretty nice there. So we're really good. I think that this is good. Yeah, this is just how these guys are going to be for right now. I mean, it's like he's like just fine there to stand there, but this guy's like he's got the heavy gun. Maybe we can get him in a more dynamic pose. If we can get him, okay, let's get him at least like this to like fake hold the gun, unless I can try it again. Get this idiot to hold a gun. His hand is just like not made to do anything. which is so annoying. You just can't get it to grip anything on the actual gun. There we go. Hold on. I'm trying to get this thing posed up. Here we go. See, like I'm nearly having it, and then I'm just like, I'm losing it. Come on. This stupid hand. Yeah, this is why they should be coming with like more hands or something else. Aludra says maybe even the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man 2. Yes, they will be coming up hopefully shortly once I get this stupid figure working. How about like this? Okay. Okay. Here we go. Is that an okay pose? I don't know. I just can't get it. Now with this body, I don't think with kind of like the weird like the limitations how I just can't really grip this thing. I mean that's okay. I just don't like that can't really hold on to it. So I kind of wish he might have had like a different hand as well to come with, like an alternate like set of holding hands. But not too bad. Alodra says, actually, nah, scratch that. Do Bagman with the Fantastic Four. I haven't even thought about that. Can you see him back there? Is he back there? Can you actually see him? Because he is back there. You have him. If not, it's all right. No, he's back there. If you can see in the far distance, right there on the Spider-Man shelf. He's sitting there. I didn't even think about that, but that would be honestly perfect. But you'll see me grab him because he's right there. You can see him right there in the back. Hold on. There he is. Try that then. He's right there. Look at these Skrulls. Look at the Skrulls. These guys look so cool. There we go. Look at those guys. They look honestly so awesome. I love that so much. You gotta have a pair. Yeah, this just proves it. It's like, yeah, you gotta have a pair at least of these guys. Because they're just little dudes here. Well, we're gonna camera back. Try that then. We will. We're gonna get our comparisons. Moment here, get our camera set up here, but great figures overall. Forget my thoughts. I think that they're pretty, like good as just like your regular, just like your Skrulls kind of here, like just very basic with the body type and the shape is the same exact one and the same exact heads, but having your variety, having your different gun, especially there too, is very nice. Even though, with mine it only came with the one, but the other one's cheaper. And you know what? I don't mind having two different looks for the Skrulls. Because they're Skrulls. Aludra says the coolest army builders. To be honest, probably. I think it's like the ones that have probably been needed a little bit more. I think kind of more of like the Hydra soldiers, I think are more iconic because of some people have like hundreds of those guys. Yeah, like it's like a whole shelf, or even with some that have uh, that aim figures as well, and then also with the Hellfire Club guys, and then also like the ninja figures too. I think is yeah, especially yeah the red yeah the hand ninjas from the Spider-Man wave. I think it was. Um, what was it? It was the I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I'm trying to remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, um, where that was where yeah where they came with Stiltman's legs, so you could build as like the Stiltman even more if you get each of the army builders. So, with each of the army builders, it's like so you would get like a portion of the Stiltman's legs, and like, and then they would all be able to actually connect to make Stiltman taller and taller because you have more leg pieces. So it was like a perfect pairing of getting those and getting these. I just remember that I actually have those red ninjas. I don't know why I didn't grab them out earlier because they're kind of hidden away. So I didn't even think about it until now. But it makes sense to get these guys out. I don't know why I didn't. Even though, like, I know they're not a part of like the army builder line, but they're pretty cool. And we'll look at those in a minute. Sorry. It's like I haven't really been able to think about yeah, kind of what to compare with these guys. I haven't really been working on it. I've just been busy. But we're gonna go ahead and get to comparisons, and we're gonna start off as mentioned before. We have our what's his name? Our Super Skrull, where this is the Beyond Earth's Mightiest version that came in the Skrull Queen 2-pack here. So this is not the classic version. This is kind of I would say more like a modern version where he has the Black Bolt kind of look costume. Here has the Iron Man. Yeah, kind of like the beam kind of there, like the chest blast there has the Doctor Strange cape. Here has the Iron Man arm, and then it does on the regular figure. It does have this same arm, but it's in a different in a different a color scheme where it's just like the regular costume. It doesn't have this translucent, kind of like Invisible Woman effect here, because this is actually the arm that came with the Build-A-Figure that I have not completed, but because this is built on the same mold, it actually works on this. And this actually does have pins in the arms and the legs too, so they kind of actually match up and make them more style-wise, even though this one is like way more newer, than these ones are. So, it's kind of like, it's kind of like, it is kind of like a little bit newer. You can definitely tell it's like when it comes to the details of the face, and then also of like, I think the accessories are a little bit more well defined and changed up, and the proportions are way bigger. It's like, but this is also the Super Skrull, so of course he's going to be bigger than these two. So, but still pretty nice, even though this guy is more modern. So, but one day I do want to complete the actual, the Build-A-Figure, because he would have worked so perfectly with these ones, because he has the same exact look. And speaking of that, Super Skrull, I do have my other pieces, that I only have of him, which is one arm, of course, because the figure came with the arm, and that arm, I believe, and then the foot here, the leg, there. So that's all I got of my Super Skrull: an arm, and a leg, and another arm. But then I also do have the heads as well. A little bit, kind of like so this is definitely like like a bigger sculpt here, but you do have a serious face of him, but also more of kind of like evil, kind of menacing smile. A little bit kind of the same of what they're going for here, honestly, but this one is just a little bit more kind of like mean mug, and also like the whited out eyes as well. Kind of more modernized, I think, kind of version, kind of like early 2000s, and this is more, yeah, kind of like classic Kirby comics. And this is definitely like 2010s kind of look here. So, different kind of eras, different kind of styles, but pretty good. And yeah, and I think we will try these heads on. At least we're going to do the serious head on here. I doubt it'll really fit. Maybe, but we're going to do this behind the camera because I don't want to break anything. Plastic is tight also with these older figures, especially on the builder figures. It's always a bit tighter with the plastic, but that's not too bad. It kind of actually, it might be too big. I think it is kind of big. It doesn't really work that well. It doesn't make them kind of feel bigger. I don't know. I think that head's just too big. I think that this smaller head is better for this body, but I do want to try a smiling head as well, and also try not to break this figure. So we're going to try this head on here. Behind the camera. On here. There we go. And that's actually not too bad. Of course, it is big, but I think it is kind of slimmer because of the more smile sculpt instead of just like the closed, kind of like full mouth. So it's kind of like, it's a little bit more kind of like extended there. It might be a little bit same because, it is based on the same mold, but it's not too bad. I think it works not too shabby, at least with this one. This one I did just notice, he does have a little bit of a black kind of scuff marks. I don't know if that's on my other one. It is not. I got some black paint, so I'll have to clean off that, which kind of sucks. But, it's an older figure. Probably been in a bin somewhere, but I think I can get that off. I'm just trying to scratch it off, but it's not really coming off. So we'll have to probably clean this figure or see what we can do. It's kind of embedded into the plastic, it looks like. But in any case, I don't think that this is a bad look for this Skrull, the army builder with this bigger head with the Super Skrull head compared to the regular one. But I think this is still kind of more proportionately, and I think kind of just style-wise, I think it's just better. I want them to match anyways. I just rather have just my Super Skrull. I don't think I even... Yeah, did I even try the alternate heads on my Skrull one? I think I did. I believe I did. I don't know if it actually fits. Kinda. Well, I kind of doubt it. This one actually feels kind of small. Like doing that one. No, it's just too dark. I don't think it'll even work. Even if I try with that one, that's not too bad. But I don't think I could get it to work if even if I wanted to try, which I will. Just proportionally, just can't do that. So yeah, we'll just put on the regular head again. We have a severed leg on the on the screen. Move on. But yeah, there's our super Skrull next to our basic Skrulls here based on our trooper build Skrulls here, even with the extra super Skrull accessories. Now we're going to get him to the back here. Over there, now we get to move on other figures that we're going to be looking at. So next, continue on with our Skrulls. We have the Skrull Queen figure. So this is just a MCU What If Gamora body where she is in the Thanos armor, and I put the Skrull Queen head on this from the 2-pack he also came from. So where it was basically just the Spider-Woman figure, but with this alternate head, and then also like the like the green kind of like a lightning hands. I don't know why that's a power for her, but it's pretty neat, I guess. But yeah, so made my own kind of like a kind of like a kit bash essentially of this body. Like even though it's like we don't really have a that really good of a MCU Gamora really recently, like since like the second movie. So it's been a long time. So we're probably not going to get one anytime soon. But it would be nice to get a Gamora of some kind at some point. But I just think that this kind of works more kind of like that. Yeah, kind of like heavy armored, kind of like kind of like warrior queen thing. Even with the let's give her her weapon with the double bladed sword as well. This looks honestly just pretty cool. Jexish says, "Give me a free figure. Hey, I don't think I could afford that, bro. Hey, someone's gotta pay shipping, and I don't give away figures. At least not yet. Maybe if we make it to a subscriber, like a milestone, we might do something. We'll see. But that's for the future, but not anytime soon, sadly." Jexish asks, "What's your most expensive figure?" Um. Hmm. Let me think. Probably. I'm trying to think of what's something. Oh, well, if you're meaning like figure Are you saying like specifically it has to be a character? Because I do have a vehicle or two, but if we're talking like character specifically, probably either be like a Mezco or like a Four Horsemen Studios figure. Probably like the yeah, then probably I would say probably yeah, the Headless Horseman figure. That one's pretty pricey. Um, I got that figure. I got that figure. Yeah, it might be like that. Yeah, so probably like any of like the Four Horsemen figures that I got, specifically the Headless Horseman, because that also came with a horse as well. But they weren't too expensive. They weren't like too bad at least, because it was just like their standard release. It was like their second time around when they had like the green version of it. So not too bad. Probably even like an SH Figure Arts is, yeah, it was pretty expensive. Like definitely over like $100 at that point. But that's just all those figures. That's like I just save up and get my coupons. That's how you do it, bro. But favorite figure. Oh no, probably favorite would be. I think just for a while it's been this, and it's just kind of like the one. At least to me, would be because I'm a big Spider-Man guy. Is the is the Marvel Legends Spider-Man and his amazing friends Spider-Man here, and you can see actually kind of like the style I think works here. Very kind of retro look here, very cool, very nice, and the bodies are kind of actually helping with the proportion. These guys look all right. It makes them look a little bit more natural, a little bit kind of like better, I think, even proportion wise. So this kind of actually helps it a lot. This figure is amazing. One of my favorites. I guess we'll just keep them right there because it's Spider-Man. We gotta have Spider-Man. And also probably my other favorite figure probably has to be the Haya Toys Godzilla versus Kong. Godzilla, I think it just looks perfect. Or maybe it was the King of Monsters. Maybe it's that one. I think it might be the King of Monsters. Because that one, I just love that design. Aludra says, what's the worst Marvel Legends figure? What's the worst Marvel Legends figure? Ooh. That's a good question. Probably plenty to choose from. I'm trying to think. Of all time, like of ones that I have, of what I can think of, I can think of like there's you. Sorry, I'm looking at my collection. Trying to see what I have. First thing that comes to mind is honestly the Spider-Verse, the Jessica Drew figure. That figure just couldn't stand or really do anything. It was all right. It's a fine design. It didn't really bother me that much. It's just weird that she was kind of like pregnant. I was like, I don't really care too much about that. It's like, but it wasn't like awful design wise. It's just figure wise, it doesn't work. So I actually kind of have the body in storage now. It's like I don't use the figure, but I do use the head sculpt on another Jessica Drew body where where it's a part of like a retro line, but it was a more modern version of her on a newer body mold. So I have that. I think it looks pretty cool. I think it's really neat. Probably is like, but probably like the basic actual figure of that is just bad. It's not good. I would also say a lot of like McFarlane stuff just is not. It's just awful. It's like, but those I don't even like try to buy. I'm trying to think of like what I have specifically because I just can't see it because in the darkness because they don't see the light of day. But yeah. But usually like a lot of stuff I don't really display. It's like I'm just like, yeah. It's like a lot of stuff's in storage. But you know, not too shabby. But yeah, but we'll finally get back on with comparisons and then continuing on with Skrulls. Coming on over here is our one and only MCU figure that we'll be looking at is the Marvel Legends Talos figure, Talos, whatever his name is. Um, the guy with the gray hair, who's like a really good actor. He's in like a lot of good stuff. I keep forgetting his name. He's coming back in Andor. He's gonna be so freaking badass, bro. I need to see. Yeah, but Rogue One, Pinocchio. Wow, what are you saying about his nose? He's no. Yeah, he's no Pinocchio. I don't know, but still, like really cool kind of look there of how they made it realistic, like very like alien life. But it's like I guess I get like the line thing, like how they're doing it there and how it goes there to kind of like I guess to represent that in some way because there's like that's like their natural skin. They don't need like head caps because he's just wearing like regular clothes. But he just had like green hands and a green head. A green head. So a little bit different of how they're interpreting these, a little bit more realistic in the clothing with that. And he doesn't come with any weapons because he's not really a murderer. Because the Skrulls are kind of just cool. Well, not all of them, of course, in Secret Invasion, which is a middling show. But it's like, this is kind of not that cool. Yeah, you could have done way better. Yeah, they could have done way better with that. Can you focus on these things? We keep going for that. There they are. And this thing, okay. But pretty cool. Pretty nice figure. Different interpretation of Skrulls, but moving on from Skrulls now. You have, if I can get these things. Oh, they stop looking so beautiful back there. All that stuff is taking up all the camera eyesight. But going with actual army builders. So the other Hasbro Pulse ones that I have that actually came in box from my other local comic shop, Rocket Comics. Shout out to those guys too. Support your local stores and stuff. Do your thing. We have the Hydra soldiers. If I can get there. feet to stand up. Here we go. There they all are. These are all a part of that whole time that they were doing these, but these I all got, yeah, like in comic stores after their initial release. They were pretty cool and they look pretty good. Of course, these ones are on the Bucky Cap body and are kind of basic, but they do have cool guns there. I think they even had like pistols as well. So they were like fully complete and in bag and in the original, like the Hasbro bag. So that was nice and really cool. So, no, nice little army builders. I wish I had a couple more of these guys. At least it's like a little bit more for Cap to beat up on. Because screw these Nazis. Screw Hydra, bro. Screw you, Red Skull. Punch. Hitler. Punch. You know, because that's what he does. You know, he does the whole thing. And then you got Hydras. Yeah, it's just really cool army builders. I love this stuff. Again, you got your aliens. These guys themselves as people. Then you have Hydra. Always looming. Always there. Always after you. Oh. Taking a dive. At some points, like Hydra always falls. But then it's like, but when you cut off the one head, two more appear. Cause you know, Hydra. Because they always come back. Because of course. Because it's a comic book. But now getting over with other. Well, actually, I do want to do. Okay, I do want to do one more thing that has to do with the Hydra soldiers, but I gotta grab something. So we're gonna mute up for a bit. Is my chat working? It is working. I always got to, but I'll be right back, and I'm gonna mute up the mic and get the box that came with the Hydra soldiers, so that you can see what the actual box would kind of look like with these figures on them to give you an example. So I'll be right back. All right. So we are back. Can y'all hear me? Sorry if my mic was like messing up earlier. If you could have heard me going through my storage. But now we do have the Marvel Legends packaging here that would have also come with these figures. Aludra says, "It's good, man. Thank you. I'm glad to hear. I hate when tech doesn't work, but you know, we're just doing our thing." But nice little box here. Yeah, that came with these Hydra soldier figures. Really cool. Honestly, it's like I would love to see like the Skrull version of this, and to have that to go with this. Well, Spider-Man down. Hopefully no paint scuff. Because this is a wood table, so stuff happens. But a nice little box here. Just all just all cardboard. Uh, all cardboard. But you know what you're getting here, so too bad. All that to just show that off for like a minute. That's what we do for you. But then on to more other kind of like army builders. So this one are not the same type of army builders, but they are the same type of group. So first is the AIM soldier that came in the 2-pack with the kind of like the more like the armored one. I got this one, I think, also at Fanfare or even at Rocket. It might have been Rocket. But then also got quickly from Hasbro, got this set up. And I got this guy, the I can't remember, like a Supreme AIM agent. He's not really an army builder, but he's a part of AIM. So it's like, and since I have this guy who is also an army builder who was off of the Ghost Rider body mold, so they've been using that mold for a while, but this actually kind of works pretty well. I do always like myself a little hazmat guy in the all yellow. Gotta get more of these because I think that they also did like a trooper build version of these two, I believe. I can't remember, but still pretty cool and pretty cool little designs here. And there's our Supreme guy again, just more armored up, kind of more modernized, has like the tech thing going on there. Pretty cool with double loop visor, so pretty cool, pretty neat. Even has the pouches on the back, so pretty well done. Now, moving on with our last of actual army builders. Is the also grabbed recently hand ninjas from the Stiltman wave. Excuse me while I get them to stand. And excuse if they're a little dusty. They've been kind of in in the back of the collection for a bit. But here they are. Looking pretty cool. Pretty sweet. Let me get them to stand up. They are, they aren't like the most articulated. Sadly, they're not like the most dynamic figures, but it's like, would they get the job done? I think. I don't know what their base body is. The legs are probably reused. The arms, I think, are brand new. Upper body, I think, is 2, and then of course the tunic, and then the head sculpt, and and then like the sheath. And yeah, and then like a couple of the weapons, but some of them are probably reuse. I wouldn't be surprised, but there they are. Looking pretty cool. Always gotta need some ninjas as well. Because they all just all look so cool. They look so amazing. I wish my camera would focus on them. Here we go. Not these two. There we go. A bit better. But still, like, pretty cool figures. They work pretty well together. Of course, they take each other out. We get what we get, I guess. Or actually, sure what she's doing. Get her. Get Talos. Her. These guys in there. You here. You here. They don't really look up. Well, they do kind of look up. Not really with these ones. Because, like, the hood kind of takes a whole lot off there. You can only look about, like, that far up. It's kind of like just more kind of forward. So it's like, it's more kind of like in the legs, so you gotta keep working at it. But they got the green eyes. I think it's a good sculpt, though. And it's fun. And it's cool to have, like, I think I have like 6 or 8 of these guys. I think it's just 6. Yeah, I think it's just 6 of these guys I got. I don't have that many. I mean, 6 of those, 6. Yeah, like in my scale of collection is a lot. In the grand scheme of things, it's like, yeah, that's not too bad. But then moving on with, do we want to do? Okay, I don't think. Do we want to go with other army builders technically, or do we want to start going with Avengers and going with actual characters and our Fantastic Four as always? But he's like, but we do have some Shield agents, so I'm trying to think if I want to do them first because they are kind of army builder-ish. It's only one and then one other unique one, so they're not matching per se, but kind of like how I kind of have the I guess like the aim and the supreme aim agent. Maybe I'll just do that, even though like they are like main characters, but we're gonna do them anyways. Okay, because they're not in like their like generic forms, I guess, with their helmets, so they're not really army builders. But Aluja Canis says, I have to go now. I'll definitely watch the stream replay before I go. What do you go by in Instagram? So Aludra, thank you for joining and hanging out and chatting it up. I appreciate the support here. But but it's just it's just the same name as here on YouTube, but it's with the underscore. So it's Justin underscore the underscore Zilla. So it's like, but you can see it's like I have the link to it to my bio. It's in my bio of my channel, and then also it's yeah, it's also in the description of every video that I have on my channel. So be sure to check it out, because I do a lot of like other videos and toy photography there. Hopefully sooner rather than later, but I also advertise these as well, and just kind of, I don't know, like I just hang out there. I'm there just once in a while. I'm really just doing my thing, and kind of like not really on there that. We're here. We're doing our thing. But here's our Shield agent. So where we have Nick Fury, the first one. Yeah, that came out that everyone kind of hated on. It's like, I get it. It's like, it's a Bucky cap, but I'm pretty happy with this, at least for the time being, until I get that 3-pack version, which is infinitely better. And this will just be a regular AIM soldier, Shield soldier, excuse me. And then we have the Maria Hill slash Earthquake, or like just Quake film figure. Okay, Hydra. One falls, one goes back. But there we go. But yeah, but also like the Maria Hill, which they've also used in the 2-pack army of yeah, with the female Shield agents as well. So technically also reused there, but this is like your female buck, and it's like a perfect figure. I love it so much. All the white is like blowing it out. It's really just taking it out. But really, really cool figures, and they look pretty good next to these. Need to get an updated version of this. I need to do that soon because they look so good. And yeah, and they also did do army builders of these, I believe, as well. Even like a 2-pack, but they were like different body molds, I believe. I can't remember. But a lot of stuff. Really, really cool, though. We'll get Nick. I think we're going to keep them together. I think it just looks better for them. Anyways, I think we'll get Maria out here a little more. She has her own area. But Aludra says, I sent you the link to the server. I'll see you later. All right. I appreciate it. Aludra, I'll be sure to check it out, and hopefully we can chat soon, or I can see you again on the stream, or even you do streams, I can check them out, or even like your videos or whatever. So yeah, but thank you for joining. I'll see you later, bro. Thank you again. But we're going to move on with our comparisons. We're going to start getting to our main kind of attraction. So first, yeah, of course, as they debuted in the comics, we're just going to get out whole Fantastic Four. So first off, we have Mr. Fantastic himself, where he used his own kind of body mold with the more smoother body there, but kind of Bucky cap arms and I think legs as well. Well, it's more of like the Pizza Spider-Man parts, more like the flat feet there, but it has the stretchy arm there with the wire, so you can bend it around. So not too bad, but not the greatest. It kind of like just flops down there because it's kind of heavy. But what I guess you could do, well, if you don't want to do that, get them to kind of like grabbing something. I'm gonna get you or something. Kind of like hard to get the wire in here to really go. Like it's pretty stiff. Then like the plastic isn't really heaviest, and then also the detents are kind of old with this figure, so I guess you can just do like this is the best. Kind of like crouching down too, like just showing off as always. He's like, get over here. But he can't keep his arm up. So that's like the whole problem, is that he just can't support the weight. It just doesn't work. They gotta figure out a better way to do this. One that's not gonna deteriorate over time. Maybe we'll see what they're gonna be doing with these new movie figures. Because since they've announced those and teased those, and we've had the trailer now of the characters, so you know, pretty neat. We're gonna get this guy. Well, this lady, the Invisible Woman, this woman, this guy and gal, this married couple with their classic black and blue costumes, and she's fallen over. Oh my god. These figures just don't want to stand. No one wants to work with me. So unprofessional. All these figures are terrible. They're awful. They're pretty good. Mr. Fantastic can definitely have an update, but Invisible Woman's alright. It's still kind of weird with the whole thing. Like, she has to be like this, doing like, starting to do kind of like her, yeah, like her invisible stuff there, but it's like, it's it's very like early on, and it's like, all right. It's like, you're not really doing that much, but it's nice to just have like a more like a regular, like a costume version of her. And I do like the head sculpt here. It's like, it's a leagues better than than this. I don't know how they can do that in so long, but it's kind of like, it's an testament to how they do their female figures, even back then, even with the limited articulation, especially in the alarms. But this is still pretty great. Um, right here. Do we want to actually do? We might do. Yeah, I think we'll do this instead. They're gonna go here. At least for now, because of course, kind of complete the family with our Human Torch. Of course, oh yeah, and as I forgot to mention, all of these are the original Walgreens exclusive figures, because that's the only ones that I have in my collection. Look how cool that Johnny Storm is, the Human Torch, and then, of course, probably the best figure of the four, Ben Graham, the Thing, who looks pretty sick in the new movie. He's got the drip, bro. He's got the suit, everything. He's so cool. He looks so awesome. He is like, I just love this figure so much. It's like nearly perfect. Would probably do prefer more of like a classic Gonna head sculpt with this one. Still pretty good. And I still do have the retro carded versions of these guys on cards still, so at some point they are going to be up there at some point. But look how good these figures are. But but I definitely need to get that Human Torch out too, because it looks so cool. I need to get all those figures out, but there'll be a stream when the movie is just about to come out. I'll be doing them. I swear. I am able, I will do it. We're gonna get Ben. We're here in the corner. Me and Johnny back here with him. Oh God. She is taking a fall. Glad she is not broken. Fantastic in here. Her in here. There we go. And now, oh God. Oh, I need to slow down. Let me get these guys. Front and center. Everyone, stop having a face. Get these guys back up front. Because this is what this stream's about these guys, about these cool Skrulls. Bro. Stop looking at Mr. Fantastic. Stop looking at Spider-Man. Looking at him. Bro. Okay, I guess I just gotta freaking do it by myself now. Okay. Well, look at these guys. Super cool figures. I just wish that they would keep them into play, but now, before I knock over everything yet again. Sorry that you can see that stupid thing in the back. What we have to deal with. Alright, but we're going to move on for other comparisons now, going off of our Avengers. Now, of course, had to go with, as we saw in the Secret Invasion storyline in the comics, we saw a lot of Avengers that were kind of revealed to be Skrulls the whole time, and kind of the two main evil Skrulls, like your queen and I guess your king. So of course, and it's because she also came in the two-pack, we have the Marvel Legends technically Skrull Queen figure, even though this is just the Spider-Woman figure re-released. And then we also have the Hank Pym figure from the West Coast Avengers pack. Here, I hate that this thing just doesn't want it. Do it. Just do it. Just focus on these ones. Is it that hard? Shouldn't be that hard. Look at that. They're so cool. Cool little figures. And of course, it's especially Hank Pym. He's not really that accurate to that era. He had a jacket, and he was hit my mic again. And he also was in the yellow jacket. uniform, but there was also like a giant man, I think, also kind of look there at some point or some way, but he had like a actual like a trench coat on like during that time. Just a evil guy. So I was like, all right, Skrull got him. He's a Skrull. That's just like the whole thing. So it's like, but really cool figures, and they work pretty well. And and this updated like the Spider Woman is like perfect. I love like the little like the hand shock effect, even though like that is like her regular power, I believe, but it's just always weird stuff. But cool figure, really really fun. The next four kind of kind of like with the Avengers, and then kind of like also kind of like the Catalyst, kind of like the first first kind of like event kind of like happen. It's like the first character to kind of like be revealed. The first like major character, like to the Avengers to be revealed as a Skrull. It's like for the first time. It's like, well, during like the Secret Invasion, that kind of like started it all. Was with Elektra, which is kind of interesting. It's like for her, it's like that she was actually like kind of like the first one that they found out was actually a Skrull, and they're like, wait a minute, this is like deep. It's like the Skrulls are actually like starting to like invade. Like we know that they are just based on this. So it's pretty neat. It's like just for it's like I think for like Elektra, it's like it gives her something I think a little bit more. It's like that she kind of helped in some ways, like with her being discovered to actually be a Skrull. Like it actually let them know being like, oh, it's like there's actually like other Skrulls. What the heck? And then they just all invaded. And it was crazy. And she kind of goes with the hand ninjas anyway. So it's like it kind of works with our gaming we got over here. Cool. Okay. That doesn't work. This Nick Fury is not the most balanced. It's on that Bucky cap. It was kind of getting all loose on us again. Raw. Okay. Lecture be there. Spider Woman be there. And stay. Please. There we go. Do they look alright? They look. Then. That's alright. Alright. There they are. So now our next comparison is going to be with a couple of Avengers that were also kind of revealed as Skrulls during that, and then also kind of like a few of like the main ones that I really kind of I was just kind of like, all right, I was like, we just want to grab a few Avengers. I don't want to grab a whole the whole like a squad. I just wanted to get like the main ones. So of course we went with always the retro carded Spider-Man. Like their very first one, the one that started the whole line of doing those retro cards figures. He's really cool, and I think he actually kind of works with the Secret Invasion specific kind of like look that he has in there, how he was revealed as a Skrull. And we haven't even done, if I'm thinking about it, we haven't even tried to do a head swap on one of these, so maybe we can try with Spider-Man. See how that works out. So that's not too bad. Proportions actually kind of work with it. So if you want to have your scrolls kind of invading your shelf, doing their thing, you can do that. But this Spider-Man, I think, kind of actually works with these guys. He's a little bit bulkier. He still is kind of like skinnier than your average superhero, but still not too shabby. We gotta get the head back on. And I do gotta like switch out this head though, because I don't really like the retro carded head. And this one's like the basic ones. Like I know they have like a more of like a Steve Ditko kind of ish, kind of closer one, but even like that one, I was like, I wasn't really happy. Oh, they can do better. But cool. Cool figure. Cool Spider-Man. Kind of one that I think I kind of like I underrated. I think it's pretty alright, but it's like it's not perfect. But I think it's still pretty decent. I think it's just pretty cool. It's just a nice Spider-Man. You can't even like see him in this, so okay. We'll go right there. But pretty neat. And then with one Captain America who was a Skrull, where they did classic Captain America. Of course, this is the 20th anniversary version, where this was in the classic Marvel Legends packaging. Wish they would do more of those, because that would be really nice to have. Especially like if there's like a Thor, unless they do like their Maximum series, which they're doing now. So they've done Spider-Man and they've done Hulk now. Well, Hulk is coming out. So we're gonna see how that goes. I do need to kind of get that Spider-Man. I've been thinking about it. I've been debating on it. Yeah, maybe. And then also been debating on getting the Secret Wars Captain America. I like the brighter blues. I like the new head sculpt. And then like the broken shield is a nice effect, but I probably get the shield because this one's the one I use for this Captain America. So not too shabby, not too bad. Good old Cap. Good old Cap. And then for another Avenger, one that wasn't a Skrull, probably had some kind of copycat, some way helping out Tony and being there. I know she had the shorter hair, but this is the Marvel Legends Black Widow, where she is like in her classic, I would say kind of like the more iconic look, at least for what I think of when I think of Black Widow. The longer hair with the thing. This thing can do the thing. But there we go. Pretty cool. Not too bad. It's like, and then she looks great with all her great articulation and styling detail. Did that there. And then now I'm going to go for another cap, the actual cap at that time, which was good old Bucky cap. This is on the Vulcan body, so more of definitely a newer figure, but pretty cool. I know he's kind of not really awesome looking right now. His down is not very great. He can't really look down that far, honestly. But let me try to get him to hold the shield a little bit more naturally. That it would feel like. So that's pretty cool. I actually do like that a lot. That's actually very nice. I think it actually works pretty well. And he's huge. He's huge next to these guys. But this was Bucky Cap. That was him. He was then. I think this was right after Civil War. So of course, I think Bucky kind of took over during that time because Sam was there, but he didn't become Cap until like way later. Especially in the comics. In the movies, it was just like, okay, it's Sam. I mean, that's really cool that it was Sam. Bucky's just Bucky. But just one of those things. Cap on our side. And then finally, for our last comparison, have the Marvel Legends Extremis armor. Iron Man, which was his look during Civil War, I believe, and then also during Secret Wars, because that's what it looked like. Except when he went to like the more classic costume kind of later, because when he had to kind of like repair his Iron Man suit and also get a new one as well, and they try to convince him that he was a Skrull, but it's like, no, you're not a Skrull, but you might have been anyways, but he's not a Skrull. He's just Tony Stark Iron Man. He's just really, really cool. I like him a lot. He's not perfect, but like at least with this figure, it's like you could even kind of use a no cold maybe, or like I don't know, just something more kind of like a dirty up a little bit, or kind of like a line action with it because it is kind of basic in the details. You don't really get like any paint. Still really cool, still really fun. So yeah, great little collection of guys here. A great like setup here that we got going on here. Yeah, that we have going on. So lots of fun, lots of cool stuff that we can look at and appreciate and have fun with these figures and cool little, just two little army builders that just add to our extended kind of like our Marvel universe. I'm not usually a big Skrull guy, but it's like with recent kind of like stuff going on, just like and getting but certain figures and just having more Skrulls kind of like coming around and doing their thing. It's just so cool. It's nice to see that these figures are done pretty well and that they look amazing, that they look great. You want to zoom in a bit, get him centered in the shot. I know it's like we're losing a couple figures, but but these are like the main ones I think that we keep in and be all right. So, really cool figures, lots of fun. Of course, I would always hope to get them kind of like complete one day, especially one with a box would be kind of nice to get there. But in any case, really cool figures that are a lot of fun. Really just worked super well and are great little army builders. And then a great price from from one of my local comic shops. Fanfare, shout out again. Y'all are awesome as always. It's really cool. So yeah, I think with that being said, I think we're gonna call this stream a close. A pretty lengthy one with 2 hours and 47 minutes. So going pretty far, and the mic's not dead yet, so that's nice. And 4 likes already. Thank y'all for the support, and thank y'all to the new people like Aludra or Aludra or Aludra, I guess. I don't know for sure. I'm trying to get your name right. Sorry. Thank you to all like the new people, and thank you like Gabe and who we got as well. Was it kind of like, I don't know. It's like it won't let me go back anymore. But but thank you to everyone, and like that always like supports on here. And always feels like we always just talk about toys and kind of hang out and chill out here. So thank you so much for your support. Be sure to like, to comment what you want to see on the channel, and subscribe. Check out the Instagram. Check out all the things. Link is in the bio of all my stuff, and in the description as well. So yeah, I hope y'all have enjoyed. My phone is about to die anyway, so I'm gonna get out of here. So y'all have a good night. Be cool. Stay good. Have a good one. And goodbye.